Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Passionheart Home Studio vlog episode 2. It is currently Sunday 8:09 p.m. I am very exhausted. I've had a very long Sunday today. I've been awake since about 3 or 4 a.m. this morning because I woke up with an upset stomach and I couldn't get back to sleep. But that's all good because I was able to have the opportunity to serve and play drums at church today for the first time in about like a year or so, like literally 12 months. So that was fun, and I ran some errands with my mum, and yeah, I didn't get back home till about, I don't know, 6 p.m. So I've been out all day doing some errands and stuff like that, so it's nice to be back here at home and in the studio. So on this episode I thought I'd share a little bit of what my process goes through when it comes to tracking guitars, whether it's demos or actual production of someone's song, and what I like to do when it comes to tracking guitars, and what my thought process is, and how I like to do, you know, how I come up with sounds and how I come up with parts. So yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I'm getting my track organized and some sounds ready for the session that I'm about to work on that needs to be done by this Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm working on a project with one of my buddies over in Holland, Michigan, USA, Mr. Alec Reese. We've done a lot of work together, both in studio and live stuff over the past 2 years since we've met each other. So I'm really grateful that we're, even during this pandemic time, we're still able to make music together and work on people's projects. So I'm very grateful. So this is going to be really fun. First things first, I'd love to run you through my guitars and what I'm going to be using for making sounds for this upcoming demo that I'm about to play on. So let me take you through the rack of axes which I pretty much use on the daily for guitar tracking and everything else I do. So starting off over here on this rack, my guitar rack, my electric rack. Ignore this, I'm just holding this guitar for a buddy of mine. So this guitar over here is my Ibanez RG1XXV. I've had this guitar since November 2012. I'm very grateful for this guitar. It's the 25th anniversary limited edition Ibanez RG. Now don't let this shred machine fool you that all it does is shreddy stuff. This guitar is super versatile. I love it for clean stuff, a lot of funk stuff. And of course it nails the rock stuff. It has such a great sound. Yeah, killer guitar, I'm never letting this one go. If I need strat sounds like they're out of phase and in between stuff, I'll use this guitar. It sounds great. This is my number 1, my Tolvanen Disciple T made by Timo Tolvanen here in Sydney, Australia. This one is an all white guitar with a tortoise shell pickguard. This guitar actually was inspired by this guitar. So this is my original number 1, my very first Telecaster, which is also made by Tolvanen Guitars here in Sydney, Australia. It's got a super fat, chunky Fat 50C neck, same neck as the white one. It's got a solid ash body, all maple neck. Pickups are awesome. The neck pickup on this is a Mick Briley, some modified 50s pickup, and the bridge pickup is a Tone Rider Hot Classic, super punchy, super thick. I love it. And on the white Telecaster, it's also got the exact same Mick Briley neck pickup, but also a Mick Briley modified 50s bridge pickup here. So this one doesn't sound as aggressive as the Sunburst one. It's a bit more balanced, but it still sounds super thick and super fat. And Telecasters pretty much just do everything. It's so awesome. For my humbucker options, I also have this Tolvanen Guitars Sisu model, which is an original design by Timo Tolvanen. This one's made completely out of zebra wood, and this is more of a Les Paul than it is a Telecaster. It's a Les Paul scale length. It's got a Les Paul neck shape. The body's got the carve of a Les Paul and the thickness of a Les Paul, controls of a Les Paul, and the pickups are the Lambertones Cremas, which are like the best PAF pickups I've ever used, besides playing an original PAF from a 59 and a 63 Gibson ES335. I love these pickups, especially for this price point. They're quite pricey, but seriously, I've played a lot of pickups that are expensive like this, and they don't sound as dynamic and as responsive as these. This guitar's actually had 2 previous pickup swaps before getting to the way it sounds right now, and the previous pickups were amazing. They were great, but the natural tone of Zebra was quite dark, and the pickups, as great as they were, I would have to crank up the treble on my amp I was using, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted the sound of the natural wood to come through a little more rather than having to crank up the treble, so these pickups really let the wood speak a little more clearly. Actually, not a little more clearly, a lot more clearly. So yeah, I love this guitar. And then I have my trusty old Duesenberg Star Player TV. It's got the Domino P90 in the neck and the Grand Vintage Humbucker in the bridge. I love this guitar to death. This was my high school graduation present. And yeah, vintage white with a gold sparkle pickguard. This guitar never fails to let me down. Love this guitar, sounds and feels great. For bass guitar options, I have this Squier Jazz Bass, and don't be fooled that it's a Squier. This thing sounds huge, sounds absolutely massive. I love this bass. And I also have a P bass, but my sister's using it at the moment. For my acoustics, I've got my Taylor GS Mini. Love this guitar. This one's got the rosewood backing sides and the spruce top. And this is a Court Dreadnought, an 8810, super affordable acoustic, but my goodness, it tracks very, very well. Love this guitar, sounds great. In terms of my amps and pedals, I would love to use my analog gear when it comes to recording, but I don't have the space, or I don't have an ISO box to get a great recording out of these lovely amps. So I just use my Helix, which just goes stereo left and right directly to my audio interface and into Logic. And I mean, it sounds just as good as these guys mic'd up, so I'm super happy with my Helix, and that's where pretty much all my tones come from. Just guitar, Helix, into this. I'd love to use this, but I don't have the space for it. So, and I don't have like a UAD audio aux box to run my amps in direct. So this will do, and it does a great job, and I love it. So yeah, that's my rig. So yeah, when it comes to the workflow of things, everything is really close by me. My effects pedals, my amps are like right under my feet via the Helix. When it comes to choosing guitars, I just pick a guitar up off the rack. If I get a different sound, yep. If I need a slide, I got my slide over here. If I need capos, I've got 6 capos lined up over here next to me. So everything is really fast and really efficient in this studio. It's mainly a guitar / music production based studio. So really fast and efficient way for me to get my sounds as easy and as quickly as possible. So that's the end of this whole gear section of the vlog. I'm gonna get my Logic session ready and the track ready, and pull up some sounds and tune up my guitar so it's ready to go for tomorrow's session. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, good morning. It is 10:45 a.m. on a Monday here in Sydney, Australia. I've got the song ready to go. What I'm gonna do before I even touch or play a guitar is I'm just gonna listen to the song in its entirety and write down the structure and think of parts in my head which I think would go well with acoustic and electric guitar. So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to listen to a song in its entirety without just touching anything, just by listening. So here we go.
And watch my yesterday burn. So far what I've acquired.
Okay, so that was my first listen through. My first time hearing the song at all. First time hearing it through its entirety, and it's a warm and mellow, folky 6/8 type of song. So there's a few things that's going on in my mind right now, instrumentation wise, is when it comes to acoustics, could be playing a lot of finger picking stuff. I don't hear too much acoustic strumming. I feel like maybe too much attack might not suit this thing, and that's totally okay. In terms of electrics, I'm thinking of parts with some tremolo, some clean, heavy reverberated parts, some strong strumming parts, some light picking parts. So I'm going to come up with a different bunch of ideas and see how they go. So what I like to do when I'm making parts for a song into a demo, when a producer requests me to play in a song, is I'll make different versions of variations of what I'm playing for each part of the song to give the producer options to choose from what I played. And if they like a certain part, and if they like a certain take or a certain part I did, it just gives them options to choose what they'd like to have for the song. So that's what I like to do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another listen through, but it's going to be like an active listen through where I'm going to type the structure out, like intros, and if it's going to be soft, the dynamics wise, if it's going to be louder in the chorus, how many choruses there are. Just gives me a nice reference and a guideline of what would be intentional for the part of the song I'm playing. So I'm listening to it with a click, so it just helps me figure out where I am in my bars, of what to play and when not to play in certain sections. An 8-bar intro. I don't think I'm going to play any guitar in the intro. Maybe some swells? I'll add some swells in just for fun. So I'm ready to track my acoustic parts. For this demo I'm just plugging into, I've got one line going DI into my Line 6 Helix, running some impulse responses, and I've got a Rode NT1A mic'd up into the sound hole. Sounds really cool. So gonna put down some parts. One idea, not bad. I'll jot down another idea. So this next idea, I'm gonna not play in the verse, but I'm gonna start playing in the first chorus. So let's try what that sounds like, okay? That. Try that again in a different strumming formation, a different picking formation, sorry. So I just finished up tracking acoustic guitars. I did about 3 to 5 different takes on each section of the song with different ideas. Some open string, some with capo, some strumming, some finger picking. Just giving the producer different options for different parts of the song to see which part of acoustic guitar he would like to choose. Now that the acoustics are done, it's time for the electric side of things to be done now. Nope, not there. Stop the guitar. Try that again, but this time with a bit more of a crunch on it. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like a big telly. All right. So I am now finished tracking for this session on guitar. I've made about 5 different versions of each part of each chorus, verse and bridge on both electric and acoustic guitars, both for the guitar 1 and guitar 2 parts. Right now all I'm doing is just exporting some stems out, some tracks, to see which one that Alec would like to choose out of the 5 versions. So I'm exporting 5 different MP3s of like the whole track with the different guitar parts, and then exporting each individual guitar stem out to different folders, so Alec can choose which one he can throw in for whatever version he chooses to use. So that's kind of my day here, and kind of my process when it comes to tracking guitars. I love doing this. I could do this all day if I wanted to, but it's about to head into it's about to be 4 o'clock and I haven't eaten lunch yet, and I need to eat. I'm really hungry. But yeah, cool, time for me to eat and do some exercise, and yeah. Thanks for watching this vlog. This is the Passionheart Studio Home Studio Vlogs episode 2. Peace out.